After the last video, so many of you wrote the same thing in the comments, almost word for word. You said you had been trying to manifest for years, doing everything right, and it just was not working, and you were starting to think something was wrong with you. I read every one of those comments, and I want to say this clearly tonight before anything else. Nothing is wrong with you. You were handed a trap and told it was a tool. Because manifestation, the way it is usually taught, quietly runs on the feeling of not having, and the feeling of not having is exactly what your deeper mind reproduces. But there is a simple thing Joseph Murphy taught that is not a trap, that does not run on effort or perfect technique, and tonight I will show it to you, starting with why everything you were doing aimed at the wrong target entirely. Let me name the trap plainly, because you deserve to see it clearly. The vision board on your wall, the affirmations you repeat 100 times a day, the asking, aloud, of the universe, again and again, for the thing you want. None of that is evil. None of it is a scam. And I am not here to mock anyone who has done it, because it comes from a true instinct, that your inner world shapes your outer one. That instinct is correct, but nearly everyone practices it in the one way that makes it backfire, and here it is. You make the board and feel, underneath, the emptiness of not yet having what is pinned to it. You repeat the words, and beneath them runs a quiet voice that says, "But not for me, not really." You ask the universe, and the very act of asking announces that you do not have. So what are you actually practicing, hour after hour, month after month? You are practicing the feeling of lack, with beautiful production values, rehearsing the absence of the thing while believing you are calling it in. That is the trap, and it is a cruel one, because the more disciplined you are, the deeper you carve it. So stay with me, even if you have manifested faithfully for years and it has brought you nothing but tired hope. Especially then. Stay with me even if you are one breath from giving up on all of it as nonsense, because you were never actually doing the thing that works. And stay with me even if you have heard the name Joseph Murphy 100 times and think you know what he taught, because this one distinction between wanting a thing and assuming it is the piece almost everyone slides past. Here is the mechanism, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Beneath the thinking, wanting mind that you call yourself, there is a deeper mind, and it never sleeps. It runs your heart while you rest. It heals a cut without asking you. And it takes whatever you hand it with real feeling and builds outward into your circumstances, the chances you notice and the ones you walk straight past. It does not read your vision board. It cannot hear your affirmations as words. It has no eyes for the pictures on your wall. It knows only one thing, the feeling you are in while you do it. And if the feeling is wanting, reaching, not yet, then that is the seed you plant. And the deeper mind, which does not argue and does not judge, grows exactly what you planted. It gives you more not yet. This is why wanting is not the doorway. Wanting is the lock. To want is to announce, in the only language your deeper mind understands, that you do not have. Now here is the simple thing that is not a trap, the one Joseph Murphy built his teaching around, and it is almost insultingly plain, which is why it hides. Stop wanting the thing. Start assuming you already have it. Wanting says, it is out there and I am reaching. Assuming says, it is already mine, and I am simply living from that. The person who actually has money does not stand in front of a vision board aching for it, or repeat that he is wealthy. He feels a quiet, settled ease around it, so ordinary he never even names it. That ease, that unremarkable sense of already having enough, is the exact feeling you must learn to wear, and it is the opposite of manifesting. Manifesting reaches. This rests. And the deeper mind, which cannot tell a vividly felt inner state from an outer fact, takes that restful assumption as the truth of who you are, and begins, quietly, to arrange a life to match it. And notice what makes this different from everything that trapped you. It requires no vision board, no 100 repetitions, no perfect words, no ritual you can perform incorrectly. There is nothing to get right, and so nothing to get wrong. It is not a technique you must master. It is a feeling you assume, and any human being alive can assume a feeling. You do not need to be disciplined or spiritual. You need only be willing to feel, for a little while each day, as though the thing were already so. Now the honest mind objects, and it should. You will say, "But that is a lie. I would be feeling I have something I plainly do not." No. Your feeling was never meant to be a report on the present. Your thinking mind keeps that report soberly, and it should. No one is asking you to deny a single bill. But your feeling has a different office. It is not the record keeper of what is. It is the architect of what comes. The farmer who feels the harvest while the field is bare is not lying. He is living by the law of the seed. And you, assuming the feeling of the thing before it appears, are not lying either. The real self-deception is the one you practiced for years without noticing. Standing in front of your own lack, feeling it fully, and calling it manifestation. And this is not a new idea invented to sell you a course. It is one of the oldest things human beings ever wrote down, far older than the word manifestation. 2,000 years ago and longer, the teachers said it plainly, that whatever you ask, you must believe you have already received it, and then you shall have it. Believe you have received, not hope you will. Feel that it is already done. They did not mean believe as an opinion in the head. They meant believe as a settled feeling in the whole of you, the quiet certainty that a thing is already so. This was never locked in a vault. It was simply left behind, sitting in old books that fewer and fewer stores still carry, passed quietly from one person to the next by those who had learned to live by it and did not make a noise about it. So ask the fair question. If this is real and this old, why were you handed the trap instead? The answer is honest, and it is not a conspiracy. No one banned the simple thing. It just got buried under noise. Modern manifestation culture took that quiet, ancient assumption and turned it into an industry of effort. Boards to buy, journals to fill, scripts to repeat, because there is very little money in telling a person that the real method is a free feeling they can assume alone before sleep, and a great deal in selling them the tools. And schooling never helped, because you were taught to read and to count and never once taught how the inside of your own mind actually works. So the simple truth survived, quietly, in the corners, the way the most useful things do, while the loud, expensive version took the stage. If even one line here has landed for you, write it in the comments below. Tell me what you were really feeling underneath all that manifesting, if you are willing to be honest, because someone else is feeling the exact same thing and will be relieved to see they are not alone. Now stay with me, because knowing the method is nothing until you can do it. And I am going to show you exactly how, tonight, before you sleep. Here is how you actually do the simple thing. There is a moment every night when the door between your two minds stands wide open, and that is the drowsy state just before sleep. The thinking mind, with all its evidence of what you do not yet have, grows tired and stops guarding the gate. And whatever you feel in those last soft minutes sinks almost unopposed into the deeper mind, where it becomes a seed. Most people spend that golden hour rehearsing worry, or worse, running through their manifestation routine one more time, soaking in the wanting. You are going to do the opposite. You are going to assume, as you lie there and the body grows heavy, do not picture a board, and do not repeat a word. Choose one small, ordinary scene that could only be true if you already had the thing, and live inside it. Not a mansion. Something quiet and believable. You are paying a bill without the smallest tightening in your chest. You look at your account and set it down again, calm, almost bored, because there is enough. A friend says, "I am so glad it worked out for you," and you feel the warmth of it. Enter that scene, see what you would see, and let the feeling of it being already, quietly done rise on its own. Stay in it until sleep takes you, and let sleep seal it. That is the entire practice. You are not asking, you are not reaching, you are remembering forward, feeling the ordinary calm of a person for whom it is already so. Through the day, hold it lightly. Whenever the old wanting rises, that reflex to reach and strain, do not fight it, because fighting it feeds it. Notice it. Name it quietly. That is the old reaching that kept me stuck, and return to the settled ease of already having. You are not trying to force a grand emotion. You are making the calm of having your resting state, because what you rest in is what you become. And do not dig for results. Do not check your circumstances every hour to see if it is working, because checking is itself the feeling of not yet, planted again and again, the very trap in a new disguise. Assume it and let the ground do its quiet work, the way you trust a letter you dropped in the box instead of tearing the mailbox open all day. There is one more thing you must know, because it is the exact place people give up. When you first try to assume the feeling of already having, an old voice will rise and sneer. It will say, "This is ridiculous. Look around you. You have nothing." Do not argue with that voice and do not try to silence it, because a voice you fight only grows louder. Let it speak and return to your quiet assumption anyway. That voice is not the truth. It is only the old feeling of lack, defending the only home it has ever known, which is you. Every time you return to the calm of having, without forcing it, you loosen its grip, and one day you will notice it has simply gone quiet. Not because you beat it, but because you stopped answering it. That is the moment the assumption becomes your own, and from there the method needs no effort at all. Let me tell you what happened to a woman I knew who was caught in this exact trap, because her turn shows the whole thing at work, and there is nothing in it you cannot check. She had done everything. A vision board across her wall, affirmations 100 times a day, 2 years of asking and nothing but bitterness, because she had followed every instruction perfectly and still felt, in front of that board, like it mocked her. When she understood the trap, she took the board down and stopped repeating and asking. Instead, each night she chose one small scene, the same one for weeks, and assumed it, resting in the quiet feeling that it was already done, until she fell asleep inside it. For a while nothing outward moved, and she nearly quit, the way people almost always nearly quit right before it turns. But something in her was changing before her circumstances did. The reaching left her voice. She stopped bracing against her own life. She began, without deciding to move through her days like someone for whom it had already worked out. And within a couple of months, the outer world answered the way it answers everyone who makes this shift, not with a miracle from the sky, but through ordinary doors. An old connection resurfaced. Work she would once have talked herself out of came to her, because she no longer carried the smell of straining into the room. Every link was explainable in hindsight. What could not be explained was why the chain formed in exactly the weeks she stopped manifesting and started assuming. She called it luck. I called it the simple thing Murphy taught, doing what it has always done. So let me leave you with the heart of it. You were not failing at manifestation. You were succeeding at it, and that was the problem, because you were practicing the feeling of lack with perfect discipline. There is nothing wrong with you, and there never was. You were simply handed a method that runs on wanting, and wanting is the one feeling that keeps the thing away. If you are the kind of person who has always sensed the truth was simpler than the elaborate systems being sold to you, then you already understand what happened here. The simple thing was never lost. It was only buried under everything louder, waiting for someone tired enough of reaching to rest. Before you go, do something for me in the comments. Tell me which city you are watching from today, and whether something here quietly clicked, whether you felt that turn from reaching to already having. And read a few of the other comments while you are there, because you will find people in them who sound exactly like you did an hour ago, and it helps more than you would think. If this gave you something real, not just passed the time but actually gave you something, then feel free to like it and subscribe, and only for that reason. Not because I need the number, but because if these words meant something to you, this is how you find your way back to the next ones. And there is a next one waiting on the screen right now. What I will show you there goes deeper than what we did tonight, into the part that ties it together, the piece most people never reach. Knowledge like this has a way of not staying in easy reach forever, so while it is here in front of you, go on and let it show you the rest.